Deuteronomy 13. If there arises a prophet among you, or a dreamer of dreams, and he gives you a sign or a wonder, and it comes to pass, the sign or the wonder of which he spoke to you, saying, Let us go after other gods which you have not known, and let us serve them, you shall not listen to the words of that prophet or to that dreamer of dreams, for Yahweh your God is testing you to know whether you love Yahweh your God with all your heart and with all your soul. If you hear someone in one of your cities saying, Let us go and serve other gods, if it is true, and this abomination was committed among you, surely you shall strike the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, utterly destroying it, and all that is in it. All its plunder you shall gather into the middle of the street, and burn the city with fire, so any of the accursed things shall not remain in your hand, so that Yahweh will turn from the fierceness of his anger, and show you mercy, and have compassion on you. Deuteronomy 14. You shall truly tithe all the increase of your grain that the field produces year by year. But if the journey is too long for you, so that you are not able to carry the tithe, or if the place where Yahweh chooses to put his name there is too far, when Yahweh your God has blessed you, then you shall exchange it for money, and take the money in your hand, and go to the place in which Yahweh your God chooses, and you shall spend that money for whatever your heart desires, for ox or sheep, for wine or similar drink, for whatever your heart desires, and you shall eat there before Yahweh your God, and you shall rejoice. At the end of 3 years you shall bring out all the tithe of your produce of that year, and store it up within your gates. And the Levite may come, because he has no portion nor inheritance with you, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, who are within your gates, and eat and be satisfied, that Yahweh your God may bless you in all the work of your hand. Deuteronomy 15. At the end of every 7 years you shall grant a release of debts. If there is a poor man among you, you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from your poor brother, but you shall open your hand wide to him, and willingly lend him sufficient for his need, whatever he needs. Surely you shall give to him, and your heart should not be grieved when you give to him, because for this thing Yahweh your God will bless you in all your works. Deuteronomy 16. Keep the Passover to Yahweh your God. You shall rejoice in your feast, you and your son and your daughter, and your manservant and your maidservant, and the Levite and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow, who are within your gates. 7 days you shall keep a sacred feast to Yahweh your God, in the place where Yahweh chooses, because Yahweh your God will bless you in all your produce and in all the work of your hands, so that you surely rejoice. You shall not pervert justice. You shall not show partiality, nor take a bribe, for a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and twists the words of the righteous. Deuteronomy 17. You shall not sacrifice to Yahweh your God a bull or a sheep which has blemish in it, any serious flaw, for it is an abomination to Yahweh your God.